Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abhilash Sinari. So today we'll continue with the lesson permutations and combinations. So these are the things that you have learned in the previous class. Basically what you have learned, arranging objects taken some or all at a time. Arranging distinct objects taken some or all at a time with and without repetition. Okay. Means for example this number of ways of arranging letters A, B, C, D taken 2 at a time. Means what? Arranging 4 objects at 2 places, that is arranging 4 objects taken 2 at a time, like that. Or number of 3 digit numbers that can be formed from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means arranging 5 objects taken 3 at a time. Okay, like that. Also some special cases also we have saw. For example, what if the numbers are even? Okay, then what to do? Or what if each number starts with 6, 7, like this? Each number starts with specific numbers, okay, specific type of numbers, then what to do? So such problems we saw. In today's class we'll try to make a general formula. Okay, means this step we'll see. In this we'll try to make a general formula out of this. Means in general, if there are 10 objects or 50 objects, then and arranging that objects all or some at a time, then what are the number of ways that we are going to learn. Okay, so we'll start. Okay, so what we are going to do is solve some particular examples and then try to make a general formula from that, so that we can solve any general example. Okay, now number of ways of arranging one object. See, for example, letter A is there. What are the different ways of arranging this? Obviously 1. Next, number of ways of arranging 2 distinct objects taken 2 at a time. For example, we have letters A and B here. So what are the number of ways of arranging this? Okay, we'll see. First, without repetition, means if repetition is not allowed, then AB and BA, these are the 2 ways. Okay, and then with repetition, AB, BA, and 2 more, AA and BB, because the repetition is allowed, or with repetition. So total 4 ways. And one more method we have learned in the previous class for this is like this. What we do, we just see how many objects we have. Okay, we have 2 objects and 2 places. Now at the first place we have 2 choices, A and B. Now first, without repetition, means first place if you have selected this B, and if repetition is not allowed, then second time we can't select that. We can select out of remaining, that is only 1. So total number of ways are 2 into 1. Okay, I'll just write 2 into 1 here because I'm trying to make general formula now. Next, with repetition, means repetition is allowed, then what will happen? Repetition is allowed, and if you have selected B, we can select it second time as well. Okay, so first time if you have selected B, so first time we have 2 choices. You can select either A or B out of that. If first time you have selected this, then second time also you can select that or the other one also. Okay, so still second time also we have 2 choices. So 2 into 2, or I'll just write 2 square. Okay, which is 4. Now number of ways of arranging 3 distinct objects taken 3 at a time. So we'll see this. Means for example, we have 3 letters here, A, B, C. So what are the number of ways of arranging this? See, we have 3 objects and 3 places now. Okay, 3 objects and 3 places. So first, at the first place, if repetition is not allowed, that is without repetition, then if I select any one of these for the first place, we can't select that for the second place since repetition is not allowed. So you have to select out of remaining 2. Okay, so for first place we have 3 choices, for second place we have only 2 choices, and for the third place if you have selected any one of these, for example this, then we have only 1 choice for the third place. So 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, so without repetition, 3 into 2 into 1. Next, with repetition, means if the repetition is allowed, then what will happen? Then for the first place you can select any one of this. For example, you have selected this. Then for the second place you can select that letter, along with that remaining letters also we can select. Okay, so we have again 3 choices. Now if you have selected any one, for example this, then we can select that third time also, or we can select any one of the remaining 2 also. So again we have 3 choices for the third place. So 3 into 3 into 3. So what it is? 3 cube, right? Okay. Next, number of ways of arranging 4 objects, taken 4 at a time. For example, we have 4 letters A, B, C and D. What are the number of ways of arranging? C. So we have 4 objects and 4 places now. So for first place, if I select A, B, C, D, okay, any one of A, B, C, D, without repetition, means if the repetition is not allowed, if I selected D here out of this, okay, then for the second place we can't select that. So second place we have 3 choices. Okay, now if we select any one of this, for the third place we can't select it. So we have 2 choices. If we select any one of this, then for the fourth place we have only 1 choice. So 4, 3, 2, 1. If the repetition is not allowed or without repetition. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and with repetition, see, if I select any one of A, B, C, D for the first place, in first place we have 4 choices. Okay, if I select any one, then since repetition is allowed, we can select that for the second place as well. Okay, or remaining 3. Okay, out of remaining 3 or even that. So total 4. So again 4 choices for the second place. Again 4 choices for the third place as well. Okay, since if I select any one of this, I can select that again because the repetition is allowed. And again if I select any one of this, again we have 4 choices for the fourth place, because whatever I select here we can select that here also because repetition is allowed. So total it is 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 or 4 raised to 4. Okay, next, if you have 5 letters, okay, A, B, C, D and E. Now, and 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, since arranging 5 distinct objects taken 5 at a time. Okay, so for first place we have 5 choices. Now if the repetition is not allowed, then for the second place we'll have 4 choices, as you saw in the previous problems. Again, if the repetition is not allowed and we have selected any one of these, then for the third place we can't select that and we have 3 choices remaining for the third place. If the repetition is allowed, not allowed, then we have 2 choices now because this we can't select. Again here also, if we select any one, we can't select that for the next place, so we only have 1 choice. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so without repetition, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with repetition, as we saw in the previous problem also, if we select any one of the A, B, C, D and E, if we select any one, we can select that for the next place, or we can select remaining 4. So any one of 5 we can select for the second place as well. Again any one of 5 we can select for the third place as well, because if I select this, we can select that for the third place as well. Okay, next, again any one of this I can select. For example, if I have selected this for the third place, then I can select that for the fourth place as well. Okay, now again for example, I have selected this for the fourth place, then I can select that for the fifth place as well. Okay, like this. So total 5 into 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. So 5 raised to 5. See, when we are selecting two objects taken two at a time, or we can say total taken all at a time. Okay, two objects taken all at a time without repetition 2 into 1, with repetition 2 square. Three objects all at a time without repetition 3 2 1 and with repetition 3 cube. Okay, four objects taken 4 at a time, four distinct objects taken 4 at a time, then 4 3 2 1 without repetition and 4 raised to 4 with repetition. Next, 5 distinct objects taken 5 at a time, then 5 4 3 2 1, okay, for without repetition, and 5 raised to 5 for with repetition. So in general what it will be, if it was 6 it might have been 6 5 4 3 2 1 without repetition and 6 raised to 6 with repetition. If it was 7, then 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 without repetition and 7 raised to 7 with repetition. So in general, n minus 1, n minus 2 and so on, 3 2 1 without repetition, okay, and n raised to n with repetition, correct? If it is 20, then 20, 19, 18, 17, 3 2 1, okay, 20, then 1 less, 19, then 2 less, 18 and so on, 3 2 1, and here it might have been 20 raised to 20. Okay, so this is general formula for arranging n distinct objects taken all at a time. Okay, it is like this. Now, so this n minus 1, n minus 2, 3 2 1, this in short we write like this. It is factorial notation. So this formula, it looks little big, so we'll make it short. We'll make it like this. See, factorial notation, n factorials, okay, is equal to n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 and so on, 3 2 1. How n raised to n is n times, like that. N factorials is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 and so on, 3 2 1. Okay, there is a this notation for this. Okay, or we can say n factorial means what? Number of ways of arranging n distinct objects taken n at a time or all at a time where the repetition is not allowed or without repetition. Okay, it's n factorials, and n factorials is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 and so on till 3 2 1. Okay, and with repetition it is n raised to n. Okay, that will be like this, n raised to n and so on, n times. Okay, like that it will be. See, from this, now tell me what will be this then? 5 4 3 2 1, this will be obviously 5 factorials, correct? 5 4 3 2 1, 5 factorials. Okay, next what will be this? 4 3 2 1, this will be 4 factorials. Okay, start from 4, then 3 2 1, here it will be 3 factorials, correct? Here it will be 2 factorials, here it will be 1 factorial. Okay, or here you can say 1 raised to 1 also, 1 factorial. Okay, so you have to remember this factorial notation now. So we'll see some more properties of that factorial notation. Okay, so what you have learned is this: n factorials is equal to n minus 1, n minus 2 and so on, 3 2 1 for natural number n, that is number of ways of arranging n distinct objects taken all at a time equal to this. Now we'll see some particular example. For example, 1 factorial will be what from this? Will be 1, correct? 2 factorials is 2 into 1, which is 2. 3 factorials is 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. 4 factorials is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, 24. 5 factorials is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 24 into 5, which is 120. 6 factorials is 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 120 into 6, which is 720. And 7 factorials is 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which is this much, 720 into 7, which is 5040. Okay, so and so on, 8 factorials, 9 factorials. Okay, next. So second, n factorials. See here, this much is what? It starts from n minus 1, then n minus 2, n minus 3, and so on, 3 to 1. Okay, n factorial starts from n, then n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on. And n minus 1, n minus 2, 3 to 1. This will be what? This will be n minus 1 factorials, correct? So this we can write as this n into this much is n minus 1 factorials. For example, 5 factorials is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now this much is what? It is 4 factorials. Okay, like that. So this is property of this factorials, okay, that you have to remember. That means we can simplify this further like this. See, n minus 1 factorials using this formula only. This will be what? N minus 1 factorial will be n minus 1 into n minus 2 factorial. Or look here, okay, so this n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on. So this much is n into n minus 1, and this much is what? N minus 2 factorials. Okay, further it will be n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 factorials. Next n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4 factorials, and so on. Okay, this property actually will be using while solving problems. This is very important. Okay, next, third. See, if I substitute n is equal to 1 here in this second property, what we get? See, n factorials is n into n minus 1 factorials. So n minus 1 factorials will be n factorials upon n. Now if I substitute 1, so 1 minus 1 factorials will be 1 factorials upon 1. So 0 factorials will be 1. Correct? So from this you got 0 factorials. What is 0 factorials? It is 1. So 0 factorials means basically what? Arranging 0 objects at 0 places. So there is only one way we see. Okay, means arranging no objects. Okay, I don't have any objects and I am arranging it here. So there is only one way, which is this, like this, nothing. So that's why we say it as 1. Okay, so these are the 3 properties which you have to know. Next, so we'll solve problems based on this now. So question, few simple problems, then we'll move on to the next. Okay, examples. First one, find first one 5 factorials minus 3 factorials. Second one, 5 minus 3 factorials. Okay, so 5 factorials minus 3 factorials will be what? 5 factorials is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Minus 3 factorials 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this much is what? 120 minus 6. So 120 minus 6 is 114. Okay, next 5 minus 3 factorials. Now 5 minus 3 is what? 2 factorials. So 2 factorials is 2. Okay, now if you see 5 factorials minus 3 factorials and 5 minus 3 factorials, both are different. Okay, so how we take common like this? 5x minus 3x is 5 minus 3x. So like this we can't do it here. Okay, here we can do. Okay, I'm taking real number common like this, but here we can't do. Can't take that factorials common and all. Okay, so this 5 factorials minus 3 factorials is not equal to 5 minus 3 factorials. Similarly for plus also, 5 factorials plus 3 factorials will not be equal to 5 plus 3 factorials. Okay, next, second, 7 factorials upon 5 factorials into 2 factorials. Now 7 factorials upon 5 factorials into 2 factorials. So 7 factorials, if you want you can simplify like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then denominator 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then 2, 1. Otherwise there is one shortcut here, that is the second property which we have learned. Okay, 7 factorials upon 5 factorials into 2 factorials is 7 factorials. You can write it 7 into 6 into 5 factorials, correct? I'll reach till this. I'll not reach till this because this is very small. Okay, so 7, 6, 5. So whatever number is near to this 7, okay, that number will pick. So from 7 will reach till 5. It is easy. Okay, so then 5 factorials, 2 factorials. So 5 factorials goes, what remains is 7 into 6 upon 2, which is 42 upon 2, 21. Okay, so big numbers like this, 20 factorials upon 18 factorials into 2 factorials, or 20 factorials upon 18 factorials. For this is very helpful. Okay, so 20 factorials, instead of doing that long thing, 20 factorials will just do like this: 20 into 19 into 18 factorials upon 18 factorials. And then this is gone, so 20 into 19. So what we get? So 19, 380. Okay. Next, fourth problem. N factorials upon n minus r factorials. Find n factorials upon n minus r factorials if n is equal to 9 and r is equal to 3. So we'll check this. Here n factorials upon n minus r factorials. So in place of n you have to put 9 there. So 9 factorials, and in place of r you have to put 3. So 9 minus 3 factorials. So 9 factorials upon 6 factorials. So 9, 8, 7, 6 factorials upon 6 factorials. So this goes 9, 8, 7. So 72 into 7. 504. Okay. Next, fifth question. If 1 upon 6 factorials plus 1 upon 7 factorials is equal to x upon 8 factorials, find x. So if 1 upon 6 factorial is equal to plus 1 upon 7 factorial is equal to x upon 8 factorial, you have to find x. So what we do? First write question. Okay, now out of this, which is the smallest number? This 6 factorials. So try to simplify and reach till 6 here and here also. So it is like this: 1 upon 6 factorials plus. So 7 can be written as 7 into 6 factorials, correct? And here also x upon 8 into 7 into 6 factorials. Next, you can take 6 common out from left side. So 1 upon 6 factorials, what is left? 1 plus 1 upon 7. And here x upon 8 into 7, 56 into 6 factorials. Now this 6 factorials in the denominator will go this, so we'll cancel this. Okay. Next, 1 plus 1 upon 7 is equal to x upon 56. Let's just simplify. So 1 upon 7 is equal to x upon 56 minus 1, or you can just take 56 this side. 7 into 1, 7 plus 1, 8 upon 7 is equal to x upon 56. So x is equal to 56 into 8 upon 7, correct? If I take this 56 this side, so it will be like this: 56 into 8 upon 7. Then just cancel this. So x 64 is equal to x, that is x is equal to 64. Okay, like this. Next. Okay, next we will see what are the number of ways of arranging n distinct objects taken r at a time. Okay, for that first we will see some particular cases and then we will see in general. First, number of ways of arranging 5 distinct objects taken 3 at a time. Without repetition is what and with repetition is what. So what we do, we have 5 distinct objects, say A, B, C, D and E, and we are asked to arrange them at 3 places because you are asked to take 3 at a time. So for first place we have 5 choices, okay, and without repetition if we select any one of these and repetition is not allowed, then for second place we have only 4 choices, okay. And again, if the repetition is not allowed, then if we select this we can't select here, so we have 3 choices. So 5 into 4 into 3, okay. And next, with repetition, means if the repetition is allowed, then what are the number of ways? See, first we'll just take that A, B, C, D and E only. So first place there are 5 choices and we select any one of these, okay. Then for the second place, again there are 5 choices because we can select this for the second place as well. Again for the third place, again there are 5 choices, okay. For example, if I select this, we can select this for the third place as well, or I can select any other also, okay. So 5, 5, 5, so 5 raised to 3, okay. Next, second, number of ways of arranging 7 distinct objects taken 4 at a time. So we have 4 places here and 7 objects. So first place, see for example, I have till F, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I have till G, okay. Then for the first place, we have 7 choices, okay. For the second place, okay, without repetition, if repetition is not allowed, then for the second place, we have 6 choices because if I select any one of these, we can't select that here. So we can select out of remaining, so 6 choices. If I select any one, now for the third place, we have 5 choices, okay. And if I select any one, for fourth place, we have 4 choices. So 7, 6, 5, 4. And with repetition it is C. Again, for first place, we can select any one out of this 7, so 7 choices. For second place also, for example, I have selected this. For second place also, I can select that or any one of the remaining. So again 7 choices. For third place also 7 choices, for fourth place also 7 choices. So 7 raised to 4. Okay, like this. So in general, what will be? See, without repetition. So we have n objects and r places. So I'll just put r like this. Okay, I'll just separate this one. 1, 2 like this. R are there. 3. Okay, first place out of n distinct object I will select, okay. For the second place, since 1 I was already selected, for the second place I will select out of n minus 1 distinct, okay, object. Then for the third place I will select n minus out of n minus 2. See, for first place I selected 5, for second place I have to select 1 less because 1 I already selected, okay. So first place I have 5 choices, then second place I have only 4 choices, 1 less. Then third place I have only 3 choices, 2 less. Okay, fourth place I have only n minus 3 choices here. Okay, here fourth place I have only 4 choices, 3 less, like that. Okay, in general means now this is first place, this is second place, this is third place, this is fourth place. In general, this is rth place, correct? So how many choices I have for that rth place? See, for first n, second n minus 1, third n minus 2, fourth n minus 3. So rth will be what? N minus, see, 1 less, always 1 less, fourth n minus 3, fifth will be what? N minus 4. Okay, 1 less than this. So n minus 1 less than r minus 1. Okay, so it will be n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on, n minus r minus 1. And so on, n minus bracket r minus 1, or you can say n minus r plus 1, n minus r plus 1. Okay, if I remove the bracket, so now this n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on, n minus r plus 1. And what about with repetition? See, again we have r places. For first place, if I select, I have to select out of n objects. Now, if I select any one of this out of the n objects, then for second place also I can select that or the remaining. So, for second place also I have n choices. For third place also I have n choices. So, like this, how many times? R times. R n choices I have, that is n raised to r. Okay, this is in general. Now, see, like how we made that factorial, same way we'll try to make something here now. Okay, see, this is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus r plus 1. So when it is n factorials, when this will be n factorials, when it will reach till 1. Okay, for example this 5 4 3, when this will be 5 factorials, when this will go till 1. Okay, or 7 factorials, when will this be 7 factorial? When this will go till 1, 3 2 1. Okay, so we'll just multiply and divide that. Okay, here I multiply and divide like this. So I have n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus r plus 1. What else we need there? Next, further, so yeah, n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on, n minus r plus 1. Next will be what? N minus r, correct? Next will be what? N minus r minus 1. Next will be what? N minus r minus 2, and so on, 3 2 1. Okay, it will continue till 3 2 1. Okay, and whatever I have multiplied, I will divide here. It is n minus r. I have multiplied this, so I will divide it. N minus r minus 1, n minus r minus 2, and so on, 3 2 1. Here also see, I can multiply 2 1 and divide 2 1. Okay, I will multiply 6 5 4 3 2 1, I will divide 3 2 1 like this. Okay, so this will become 7 factorials. Okay, next what will be this now? This is from n till 1, so it will be n factorials, correct? And denominator is from n minus star till 1, n minus r till 1, so it will be n minus r factorials, correct? See how this 5 to 1, so 5 factorials, it is 2 factorials like this. Okay, here it is 7 factorials upon 3 factorials. Same way, this will be n factorials upon n minus r factorials. So this is the general formula. This also I can write in this form. See, this is n factorials, means 5 factorial upon n minus r factorials. 5 minus r is 3 here. 5 minus 3, correct? 5 minus 3 is 2. Same way here, 7 minus 7 factorials upon 7 minus 2, 7 minus 4 factorials, correct? 7 4, 7 minus 4. So this is the formula which I got. And this is said as, see, this is also further we write as like this, NPR. So you have formula like this, NPR is equal to n factorials upon n minus r factorials. Okay, NPR is equal to n factorials n minus r factorial, where obviously r is between 0 and n. Okay, means r should be less than n, in short, less than or equal to n. It can be 0, but it should be less than or equal to n. Otherwise, what will happen? For example, I have like this 5 and 7. What does this means? Means I am arranging 5 objects taken 7 at a time. But this is not possible because 5 objects can't be taken 7 at a time. Okay, 5 objects can be taken 4 at a time. How we can take 7 objects 7 at a time? only 5 objects 7 at a time, it is not possible. Okay, that's why r should be between 0 and 1, and these are integers obviously. Okay, like this. And this is what number of arranging n objects taken r at a time, okay, without repetition. Number of arranging n objects taken r at a time without repetition. And then number of arrangement of n objects taken r at a time with repetition is n raised to r. Okay. So what is the formula that you have learned? npr is equal to n factorials upon n minus r factorials. Just remember that r is from 0 to n. Okay, so it's like selecting 0 objects. 0 means what? Selecting 0 objects, okay, out of n objects. That is also possible. Okay, like the 0 factorials, selecting 0 objects taken 0 at a time, like that. Okay, so we'll see some properties of this first one, and PR is this second one. Okay, from this, see, first tell me what is 5p3. 5p3 will be 5 factorials upon 5 minus 3 factorials, which is 5 factorials upon 2 factorials, which is 5, 4, 3, 2 factorials upon 2 factorials. So this we can cut. So 5 into 4 into 3, so 60. Okay, so 5p3 is 60. Next, 7p4 will be what? 7 factorials upon 7 minus 4 factorials, which is 7 factorials upon 3 factorials. Okay, which is 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 factorials upon 3 factorials. This I can cut. 7 6 are 42 and 20. 42 into 20, so 840. Okay, next, 9p5 equal to 9 factorials upon 9 minus 5 factorials, which is 9 factorials upon 4 factorials, which is 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 to 4 factorials upon 4 factorials. So 72 into 42 into 5. 42 into 5 is 210. So 72 into 210. What it is? 72 into 21 also. Plus, so 2, so 15120. Okay, like this. Next, we'll see some properties of this. First, okay, what is np0? N factorials upon n minus 0 factorials, which is n factorials upon n factorials, which is 1, correct? So np0 is 1. Okay, and what is npn factorials? npn third, npn, n factorials upon n minus n factorials. Okay, so n factorials upon 0 factorials. So n factorials, correct? So nps is n factorials. So this is like selecting 0 objects, okay, out of n objects. Okay, number of ways of arranging 0 objects out of n objects, that is number of ways of arranging n objects taken 0 at a time is obviously 1. Okay, and this is arranging n objects taken all at a time, that we have saw in the previous type, it is n factorials. N factorials means what? Arranging n objects taken all at a time or n at a time. Okay, so it is n factorials. Okay, so we'll solve some problems, simple problems based on this now. Okay, so the question is like this: if np5 is equal to 42 np3, n greater than 4, find n. Okay, so n greater than 4 means n greater than or equal to 5. Okay, why n greater than or equal to 5? Because if n is less than 5 means n is 4 and all, then this will become 4p5, which is not correct. Okay, because we can't arrange 4 objects at 5 places, obviously. So 4 objects we can arrange at 4 places. Only 4 objects we have and 5 places we have, so it is not possible. That's why 4 objects and 4 places, or more objects and less places. Okay, so np5 is equal to 42 np3, then n factorials upon n minus 5 factorials is equal to 42 into n factorials upon n minus 3 factorials, correct? Then you can just cancel this, and I'll just take n minus 3 factorials here, n minus 3 factorials upon n minus 5 factorials equal to 42. Now which one is bigger, n minus 3 factorials is bigger or n minus 5 factorials is bigger? Which one is greater from these two? See, for example, if I write 9 here, so 9 minus 5 factorials is greater, or 9 minus 5 is greater, or 9 minus 3 is greater? 9 minus 3 is 6 and 9 minus 5 is 4, so obviously this one is greater. So here n minus 3 is greater, correct? So n minus 3 you have to reach till here. So next, after n minus 3, one smaller number will be n minus 4, correct? And one more smaller number will be n minus 5. Okay, after n minus 3, n minus 4 will come. After that, n minus 5 will come in this arrangement. Okay, and n minus 5 factorials is equal to 42. This cuts, this is n square minus 3n minus 4n plus 12 is equal to 42. So n square minus 7n minus 30 is equal to 0. So what are the two numbers which, if we subtract, we should get 7, and if we multiply, we should get 30. Which are the two numbers? 10 into 3, correct? So directly you can write n minus 10 and n minus 3. This is a shortcut for which I made a video separately. You can go through that. Okay, means directly from this I got this answer. How it is, you can just check. Okay, n minus 7 and n plus 3. Okay, how it is, see, 30 we write. Okay, then 10 and 3, obviously. So bigger number I give negative sign, smaller number I give plus sign, means opposite sign since it is negative. Okay, then just write directly n minus 10 and n plus 3. Okay, if this is plus, okay, if this is plus, then what we do, this sign we give to both the numbers. If this is minus, this sign we give to smaller number, bigger number. Okay, this sign to bigger number, other sign to smaller number. Understood? And then just write n here and here. Okay, this works if there is no number here other than 1. Okay, so n minus 10, n plus 3, from this it will be n is equal to 10 or n is equal to minus 3, and this obviously will discard. Okay, why? Because n cannot be negative, so n starts from 0. Okay, so n cannot be negative, so n is equal to 10. Okay, so therefore n is equal to 10. Okay, next, five PR equal to 2 into 6p r minus 1. Find r. So first step, 5pr. So 5 factorials upon 5 minus r factorials, and 2 into 6p r minus 1. So 6 factorials upon 6 minus r minus 1. 6 minus r plus 1 factorials. Correct? 6 minus bracket r minus 1. After we remove the bracket, we get r plus 1 there. Okay? Factorials. So 5 factorials upon 5 minus r factorials is equal to 2 into 6 factorials upon 6 minus r plus 1 factorials. So 6 plus 1 is 7 factorials. Correct? So 5 factorials upon 5 minus r factorials is equal to 2 into 6 factorials upon 7 minus r factorials. Now 6 factorials and here we have 5 factorials. So this one is obviously greater. Okay. So 5 factorials upon, and out of this, which one is greater? 5 minus r is greater or 7 minus r is greater? Just take anything here. For example, 3 if I take. So 5 minus 3, which is 2, and 7 minus 3, which is 4. So this one is greater. Okay. Here this one is greater. Here this one is greater. So what we do? This will simplify. 6 into 5 factorials. So we can cancel that 5 factorials and 5 factorials. Here what we do? This we can write it 7 minus r into 6 minus r into, see, 1 less 7 minus r, 1 less, so 6 minus r. So next, 1 more less, so 5 minus r. Okay, this and this goes, this and this goes. I'll take this up. So 7 minus r into 6 minus r is equal to 12. So 42 minus 7r minus 6r plus r square is equal to 12. So r square minus 13r plus 30 is equal to 0. So again here same method. First 30, okay, then 10 and 3 obviously. Now this sign will give to both the numbers now. Okay, since this is plus here. So directly write r minus 10, r minus 3 here. So r minus 10 into r minus 3 equal to 0. So r is equal to 10 or r is equal to 3. Now, if we put r 10 here, then this will be 5p10, which is not possible. Okay, arranging 5 objects at 10 places, not possible. So this we discard. So we take r is equal to 3 there. Understood? Okay, so we'll stop here, and in the next class we'll continue with the lesson. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.